I'm Mike Ruzzi along with our Philip Ward live in Washington, D.C. tonight. So, Philip, you had a rare opportunity today on the North Lawn interacting with administration officials. What was it like?
Well, Mike, the Trump administration touting what they say historic successes have been of the first 100 days of this administration. Now, as we came in through the gates, what we were presented with was a sheet of paper, and it said there, Erie News Now, Philip Ward, and we had the opportunity to talk with State Department spokeswoman Tammy Bruce, as well as Congresswoman from Georgia, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and we also got to talk to the Secretary of the Interior, that being Doug Burgum. But what we really wanted to talk with was White House Deputy Press Secretary, that being Anna Kelly, and that's exactly what we did. We talked about Erie, we talked about the economy, we talked about tariffs, all of that right now, Mike, in a wide-ranging interview.
Well, we are seeing the art of the deal at work. We have 130 countries who have come to the table and are wanting to negotiate with this president. And then simultaneously, you're having massive investments just pour into our country from all around the world. Roche just last week is a major pharmaceutical grant. They are investing $50 billion into the United States. That is huge for our national security and for American manufacturing. So this president is leveraging his signature deal-making skills to make sure we are getting a deal with every single country, friend and foe. These are countries that have long ripped off American farmers, workers, manufacturers, and making sure that we have leveled the playing field while simultaneously bringing massive investments into our country.
Anna, let's talk a little bit about manufacturing, because that's certainly something that resonates with us here in Erie. How big is that on his agenda, and what would be sort of the president's message to manufacturing in Erie, Pennsylvania?
This president is incredibly passionate about the forgotten men and women of America. Those are the folks that he has long talked to, and they are part of his presidential campaign victories in Pennsylvania, again, and all across the country. And so he is very invested with partnering with folks like J.D. Vance in restoring our hollowed out manufacturing industries. These are industries that have been truly destroyed by not just Democrats, but also Republicans. Decades and decades of unfair trading practices. And so by leveling the playing field and by sending a very clear message that the only way to actually face no tariffs is to manufacture your product here in the United States. We are creating jobs, great paying jobs that are going to have great benefits that will allow Pennsylvanians and all Americans to support their families. He is going to truly resurrect this broken economy that has been left behind for decades and decades.
Why the president, when he was campaigning, he came to Erie, Pennsylvania quite a bit. Why was that so important for him to do that and show up there and tell people in Erie that, hey, I'm going to try and work for you guys?
This president is always showing up for Americans all across the country, and now in the White House, he is bringing folks like you, Americans from all across the country, into this building, right? This is a president for all Americans. That's why he's hosting events with manufacturers from Pennsylvania and from around the country, with teachers and parents. That's why he's bringing so many different kinds of Americans into this building. This is truly the people's house. He knows that the American people sent him a clear mandate with these campaign promises, and so he is making a lot of importance on delivering on those campaign promises and also spreading that message far and wide.
Anna, the Oval Office is right behind us right here. We saw the contentious situation when it came to the president and then with the Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. Over the weekend, we saw them talking in the Vatican. Can you sort of give us an update on what that relationship's like right now?
Well, the president said Zelensky is very close to signing a critical minerals deal. Of course, this is something he believes should have been signed weeks ago, but we are now very close to signing that deal. And again, the only reason that we are even close to peace is because of this president. And as he said time and time again, we wouldn't even be in this situation if he had been president 4 years ago. So this president is the first president to lead peace through strength, to look anyone in the eye who will help him achieve the goal of peace, to stop the killing. And we are really close because of his strong leadership.
Little different when it comes to the war between Israel and Hamas. What's the president's stance right now on that?
The president continues to stand with Bibi Netanyahu, and of course he always is leveraging his really incredible team. He has an incredible team in Steve Witkoff, who already secured the release of hostages from Gaza, so he continues to prioritize releasing those hostages and trying to get peace all around the world.
Anna, when it comes to the economy and tariffs, we talked a little bit about it, but there was sort of a message of wait and see, sort of maybe even buy the dip. What about for those Americans that maybe couldn't have waited? What would be the message right now to them as we move forward?
So this president is finally restoring our balance in the world, making sure that the farmers and workers and manufacturers in our country are no longer being ripped off. And this will be a lasting change for Americans across the country.
Anna, when are we going to see President Trump in Erie, Pennsylvania?
We shall see. He is on the road in Wisconsin this week, and so I'm sure that he has a very soft spot, of course, for Pennsylvanians who helped him get here, and so we'll have to stay tuned.
And just finally, why is it so important? I mean, Erie County picks the president. Why has that been historically?
I think that Pennsylvania, just like Wisconsin and so many of these other states, represent the forgotten men and women of this country that this president is able to talk to uniquely. Farmers, manufacturers, workers, blue-collar Americans, folks that have felt long left behind by Democrats and Republicans. This president speaks directly to them. He is talking about restoring our hollowed-out manufacturing industry, supporting our farmers, standing up for all American families. And so I think folks in Erie and all across the country see that.
All right, Philip,
And
we got
Mike,
about a
do know
minute to
that the
go
president
here.
is going to-
Go ahead, you take it.
Mike, I was just going to add to that we know that the president is going to continue talking about the historic successes, as he calls it, of his first 100 days by heading to Michigan tomorrow. Go ahead, my friend.
All right, about 45 seconds to go. What surprised you the most today?
Well, Mike, it was, first of all, we did get a brief look at the president. He came over and sort of gave us a wave before he headed on in to the Oval Office. But something that he certainly campaigned on, and I think it really resonated with voters, not only the economy, but was the issue of immigration. And if I step over this way, this was really front and center today. Obviously, it just says arrested illegal alien, and then the crime that quote, illegal alien has been accused of. So as the president continues to tout those, like I said, historic successes, definitely immigration and then the economy are two things that he focused on, that he made promises about. And I think right here is sort of his message of promises made, promises kept. But we're going to have a lot more coming up with all those officials that we talked to, Mike, when I return, and see you tomorrow in the 814.